There it is. We are live on the YouTuber.
All right, y'all.
Just had some fun.
We've been working through some ish. We just finished up somebody else's podcast. Y'all are going to hear that later in the week if you are paying attention to what's going on.
I was going to mention whose podcast it was on the show. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's wait till we're actually on the iTunes / Podbean.
I almost poured Jim Beam into my beer.
I just saw you almost do that, and I was going to be like, that's balls out right there.
You know what? Now I have
Now you have to.
There we go. Now there's a little bit in there.
Hey, now it's bourbon barrel aged IPA, which does turn out to be pretty good.
Perfect. Just a little bit of something. Let's see who's on. I'm not seeing anybody yet, but what we can do is I need to share this on the Twitter so that the Twitter folks have.
Well, it looks like Brandon wants to call us after the show.
Oh, cool!
Because he's got he's got a late shift on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Or like you don't have to go in until 10.
Oh, you already sent this tweet? Did I?
Oh, did you type it exactly the way I sent something?
That would be weird.
That would be weird. It does get mad at you if you do that.
No, I did not. So.
Oh, it's just being an a-hole.
Yeah, you are a liar. Let's try again.
Roll back.
Is live.
Waters.
Let me mash the button. Come on. Is live.
So, are we...
There we go.
People can see us now?
Oh, yeah. 5 people at least.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Roger's there. Patrick Drawn, what's up? Lori. Oh, my gosh. Lori, welcome back, too.
Lori.
Your Midsummer Return, too. I love it.
Lori, darling.
Oh, my gosh, I poured way too much drink. Let's put some... Well,
you got a boatload of ice in there, at least.
Well, let's put some mixer in there just to kind of like hide the fact that there's way too much liquor in this drink. That's all the mixer. Doop. Y'all ever done that? Y'all ever poured a drink? Me and Sherwin do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because what you do is you go...
Pour the drink to the top.
You start filling it and you go, well, that's not enough. And then I'm telling you, you put one splash in there and you go, well, that's way too much.
It's like a fine line.
There's a weird fine line that, I don't know. It's like a Goldilocks zone that is a milliliter. And I haven't found how to hit it yet. I've only been on one side of that.
Yeah, Patrick, the lumberjack is gone, man. It's in the trash can.
In the trash can. That deserved to be like, I don't know, hung up or something too.
Yeah, if only you could take it all off in one piece.
You know, it took me a couple hours, but now I'm kind of used to it. It looks like you again. At first, it was
Dude, I'm telling you, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't know who this person is. Who is this person?
Yeah.
It was really weird. It's coming back, y'all. Don't worry. I'm not going to shave again until the Saturday after Thanksgiving, where we traditionally wear mustaches on the day that we play the University of Suck.
That's right. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
For you folks out there. Let's see. We got some folks on and stuff. Hey, we're actually back. If you thought that we weren't going to be back, we are. We just do this. This kind of happens every year. Midsummer, I go on vacation, and sometimes Sherwin does too at about the same time, and it just makes sense. Y'all know how it is, you know?
This time I just did one of those crazy... Well, we'll talk about it on the show probably.
Yeah.
Just one of those crazy weekend deals that, like... Man, I finally felt old.
Oh, man. Felt old. He shaved his beard. It was a thing.
Yeah, well, the beard shaving thing was... Yeah, well... Guys like beards, girls don't.
Oh, yeah.
As it turns out.
Well, except for Ashley. Ashley... Whoa, what the F, Sherwin?
Right? I have like a human face again.
A human face.
No longer a Sasquatch.
I like it. You do have like the gray thing that comes down right in the middle that just kind of shows.
Oh, there's like
two
stalactites.
Stalactites. Like
of gray.
Yeah.
This way I look a lot younger, though. There's that.
That's what I was going to say. So it definitely took off a year.
Shaved off a solid year, for sure.
Oh, man. Oh, well, let's start to get into it. Let's see. I've got that thing up. I've got that thing up.
These.
Oh, you know what? I've got to get this thing up.
Back up.
Where is everything? It's on C
can't do that from over
drive.
Here. Too weird of a bottle.
PTM sounds.
Make sure that Audacity records like a 38 gigabyte file.
No kidding. Oh my God.
Y'all will find out what that's about later.
Oh man. I don't get super embarrassed very often, but I was embarrassed not 15 minutes ago. And it's when you F something up that like your expertise says you should not F up. Like,
yeah.
And that you brag about. What did I say at the beginning of that whole ordeal? I said this will be trivial.
You did say
I said
trivial.
the word trivial.
And I set you up by saying, Rusty might be able to help you out with the recording process because he hasn't flubbed one yet.
Mm-hmm. So Sherwin said, number 1, 154 episodes in, we have never messed this up. And number B is, I said,
Roman numeral 2.
I said, this is trivial. And completely effed it up. And I'm embarrassed. So,
oh man!
With that, you want to start recording?
Why not?
Let's do a podcast.
It's
been a minute.
We've got a few people on here. 11 of them.
Yeah. Let's have fun.
7-Eleven. I love it. Marty and McGee. 7-Eleven.
We're definitely going to flub stuff up here.
How
which
many
is
of them? 11
fine. Because we hadn't done it in a hot minute. Oh, here we go. You ready? Woo! All right. I am also ready. Here goes nothing. We are recording now. Welcome, y'all! Woo! That's right. This is the Pre-Game Engineer Tailgate Mayor Racing Podcast, episode number 155. It's Tuesday, July 24th, 2018. I'm Tailgate Mayor Rusty Wallace. I'm back in the PTM Podcast studio with Pre-Game Engineer Andrew Sherwin. What's up, dude?
Have we ever done a podcast before? It feels like it's been forever.
Every year that we take our little midsummer break, we get back and it's like, it's time. It's time. Let's do this. So we are flying solo for the big Midsummer Return. We're excited about that. But before we get to it, y'all know what the deal is. This podcast is sponsored by you. That's right. You go to patreon.com/PTM and join the What You Drink Club for as little as $1 a month and get that free koozie. Best part is every cent in 2018 we're donating to sponsoring drivers. So join the PTM posse today. Be a part of the sport you love. You ready for me to flub this up? Because I ain't done it in a while. I'm out of practice. Here we go.
Let's just right up.
This week's show is brought to you by our official sponsors at the $5 and up per month level. That is... I already messed up. Laura Henshaw, Mick Rose, Aaron Bearden, Robert Keplinger, Tony Salt, Company McClain, Eric Kepner, Ryan Kiefer, Mary Levesque, Patrick Cleary, Jeff Brown, Brandon Crowd, Kathleen McDonald, Stacey Wright, Brendan Carl, Billy Workman, Rika Porter, Jumpy Bob and Les Miller, Jason Rudd, Tommy Witt, Mark Weiler, and Julie Bosley. Awesome. Wow. That worked out better than I thought.
Have we seen this out on Twitter yet?
We did.
All right.
Yeah. There's a lot of like, how did we used to podcast this thing? Welcome back, dude.
Man,
it feels good.
It feels awesome.
It feels good. Let's address
we actually had a warm up.
Speaking of warm, let's address the elephant in the room. Like, you used to have a lot more of you in like the facial area, and now it's not there. So
my chin is cold.
Just for the people who aren't watching,
just from the fan that's blowing at like minor speed. My face is cold.
Sherwin went and took the beard off, and he's growing it back. I mean, it's a give and take. It's an ebb and flow. It's a tide coming in.
I wish there was like a locks of love
circular
for beards. Ooh. Nobody wants like 4-inch pubic hairs. As it turns out.
I don't know. Have you heard of a merkin? We're already in the deep. Here we go. We have. You know what?
That's awesome.
Sherwin, we have shots of tequila right here. Because why?
This is National Tequila Day.
So
we're taking shots of tequila.
Go ahead.
Ready?
And do that. Y'all prepare for about 3 seconds of nobody talking. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right. Tequila down the hatch.
And that is smooth. Sherwin, what are we drinking tonight?
I don't know. It's pretty good.
It's called Leyenda del Milagro, and I speak better Spanish when I've been drinking. So,
that's good.
That means the legend.
Mars a little bit better.
Means the legend of the miracle. That's right. And it's smooth. I'm that.
Off in the ditch, right.
Oh yeah,
start for sure.
Right out of the gate.
You think we're going to come back 2 weeks after not having done a show and like not park it in the ditch?
Oh
right
yeah,
off the bat?
Yeah. We got to go straight there.
The hell are y'all kidding?
But this says 100% from agave, which I'm not like a tequila connoisseur person, but from what I've heard, that's the one you have to go after because otherwise they're just throwing sugar and other stuff into it that doesn't matter. Like you have to have 100%.
So
100% de agave.
All of the sugar used to ferment the wort or the distiller's beer for the tequila comes from the agave plant, and no extraneous horse hockey added.
Yeah. So that's good stuff. And y'all,
that might not be the last one we do tonight.
Milagro is it's really smooth, so highly recommended. And I can tell from the price tag that you have on here, it's not like it's super expensive.
No, it's not super cheap. It's not super expensive.
Yeah.
JoJo's calling me out for Babyface. Yep, this is the Babyface.
Yep. So we got that for the shots. We've got the normal Jim Beam and Cola or La Croix. Oh, no, you gave up on the La Croix.
Cola because I needed some caffeine.
There you go. All right, cheers. Let's do that. And then on deck, we've got
So this is the What You Drinking segment, by the way.
Oh, yeah, by the way, what you drinking. There's everything here. We're going to have fun. If
We've
this
forgotten
thing
how to podcast.
somehow gets posted to the internet, it will be a you know what?
Absolute
It'll be a milagro.
Of Milagro.
Yeah, that happens. But we're at least live on YouTube. I can see that, so I can pull that somehow later on if I have to.
The bottle opener over there?
Yes, there it is.
All right, I got to open my beer.
Okay.
Because everybody wants to hear us talk about
there you go.
Opening my beer.
Sherwin, it's been like 2 weeks. How the hell have you been?
Not dead, which is good.
Not dead. Every day I spend not 6 feet under is a good day.
Every day that I spend not dead is spectacular, in fact.
What the hell you been up to?
I've been to Colorado since you've been gone.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
How weird.
So
that usually happens, too.
Yeah, I went out to see my sister. I did that whole crazy, fly on Friday night, do the weekend deal, and then, the red-eye. And I'm officially old now because the red-eye, straight, bombed me for, 3 days.
Oh, man.
I was, my boss called me, on Tuesday, late morning. She's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I did not expect this red-eye to crush me like this.
Oh, man.
It took me, I'm not sure I'm totally recovered from it yet, but mostly that's because of all the fun that was had in between then and now.
Yeah, read between those lines. Colorado back here.
Colorado, and then we had a friend's housewarming on Saturday that got a little bit. Let's just say that the arrival time on the lift to my house said 3:08.
Wow. Is that somebody I know, by the way?
Yeah, Courtney.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, her and the fiance.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Cool. Good deal. So, and I've been. So it's funny. I've been on vacation in Hawaii, and while I was there, I turned 36 years old. And Sharon, you're 37 or 38?
37.
37. So.
Don't add any years.
I hear you, right?
Rusty's birthday is one day before my father's. He turned 70 on July 17th.
Way to go, Don. Shout out. That's awesome. What's funny is that, so I had, it's 6 hour difference, and I've done pretty good. I'm within, I would say, 2 days later, I'm within 30 minutes of where I want to be on jet lag. So apparently there's this rift between 36, where I'm at, and 37, where you're at, that jet lag totally destroys you now. So I'm not looking forward to that next year.
No kidding. And it was only 2 hours, but I think it was because of the red-eye deal. I think if I'd have stayed overnight on Sunday and flown Monday morning, I don't think it would have been a thing.
Yeah. We did the red-eye. Well, I mean, that's the only choice.
Because you can only half-ass sleep on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're like, I sleep on the plane. No, not really.
No, you don't. You liar.
You have your eyes shut and you don't remember, portions of the flight. But you ain't.
Right.
No, that ain't REM or nothing like that.
Right. We had to fly through L.A., and the first leg from Hawaii back to L.A. was like time travel. It was awesome. It was one of those, like, it's 10:50 p.m., you're struggling to stay up to even get on the plane, and then, hey, there's L.A., perfect, all right. And then the next part is, oh, my God, how long does it take to come back from L.A.? Like,
yes.
People do this every week, right? There's people who work in, live in Atlanta and work in L.A. every week.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
I don't understand it.
Yeah. Anyway. Somebody says, what's the demographic for this show? Calling the 55.
Jumpy Bob.
Jumpy Bob, my man.
You know what? I think I think most of the people listening to the show are actually older than we are.
That's okay. That's fine. You know, I've been told my whole life I'm really young, right up until
you got old.
I got old. That's what happened. That's what happens. All your life. Like, you start a job, or really what happens is you're in high school. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're in high school. You know, I'll start at high school or whatever. And, that's when you kind of become conscious of the world and stuff. And then in college, oh, you're just in college, you don't know. And then you're in 20s. Oh, you're in your 20s, blah, blah, blah. And then you're in your early 30s. Oh, you're in your early 30s. You can still blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly you meet a 21-year-old who's like, oh, yeah, I know this old guy. He's like 30. And you're like, whoa, when did what just happened?
On a minute.
Like, we went the other direction. I'm not on board with this. This is not cool. Patrick John, almost 30, y'all. Patrick, you're
keeping us young.
You're so young.
Keeping us young.
No. And that's something.
Well, when Cancius joins us down at Darlington,
yes,
he's going to average us out pretty good.
Well, good.
Because you and Brandon are both 36.
Yes.
I'm 37.
Yeah.
And Cancian's like 22.
Good for him. That's awesome. So I do not disparage young people, by the way. I have been told I'm young. You're so young, you don't know anything. Y'all, I was way smarter when I was younger. Like, I have more experience now. Like, I could go
Wisdom.
tell my... Right. I could go tell my younger self, oh, you ain't seen nothing. But my younger self could go, you don't know nothing. I'd be like, well, you're right. I was way smarter. I knew calculus back when I was in my 20s. Like, I knew physics.
I did.
You know what I mean?
I once made a B in multivariate calculus at a renowned institution.
Try doing that at 37.
Nope.
Not going to happen.
Not a chance.
Oh, with that, I did learn to fly a plane at 35, so maybe.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we'll count that one.
Is this a NASCAR podcast?
Do we talk about NASCAR at all? You know? But
we're not even done with that yet, are we?
Before we went on vacation and all that, how about, let's talk about this real quick, because we didn't really, I mean, it was such a whirlwind before we left.
People know they're just here to get entertained. This is not this isn't racing news.
We finally got to go to Atlanta Motor Speedway on Thursday Night Thunder and watch the PTM Posse sponsored car, Jensen Jorgensen, number 32, at AMS, Thursday Night Thunder. How cool was that? And talk about AMS for a second on how cool they were letting us come in.
Well, I mean, obviously that's an experience that, I mean, there's only the only way you could ever describe it is if you actually had it. And this is 2 years in a row that we've had it. And this was the first time that we've had it with the PETM sponsorship situation,
right,
that we love all y'all for contributing to. And to get to hang out with Jensen's family and meet his sister and meet his girlfriend and meet his mom and meet his dad again for the second time, just to spend time around and watch them look at the cars, watch how they helped like a friend that they weren't, like, they don't even own the car and they were helping a friend work on his car, like all those things. It was just so cool. Like, it's just such a neat garage. You know, it's a different kind of racing. It's not what we see on Saturday and Sunday and Friday nights sometimes with the trucks, or Thursday or Wednesdays that are awesome at Eldor. But, you know, just the camaraderie that racers have, you know, when they're working on their cars and getting ready for the races, that to me was like the experience.
I walked up, I think Sherwin was probably, 45 minutes to an hour ahead of me, because I had to work a little later that day. And I walk up and we're looking at the car and stuff. And Sherwin goes, "You would not believe how fast Jensen's daddy just changed that carburetor." And like, you look and it is professionally installed right there. And he goes, he changed that in like 3 minutes, maybe.
Oh yeah, and it's a 4-port carburetor in a 4-cylinder inline motorcycle motor. That's a 1250 or a 1350. I can't remember what the displacement is. Normally, it's the kind of thing that you see in like a Valkyrie, like a big cruiser bike.
Yeah.
And it's perpendicular, and the way they run it is parallel. So they run a drive shaft that actually comes under the driver's right foot and goes to the rear axle.
Yeah. And y'all, we've had Jensen on the show. Y'all have heard him, how appreciative, how cool he is, and all that, and how level-headed and everything. Boy, he came back after that race because he got pushed a little bit by somebody, and I think that was the second time, and he had fire. Like
he was pissed.
Yeah, and that was really.
It was fun to see.
We saw the racer come out that said, "You know what? Watch this." Like he was Kurt Busch pissed.
We watched him have the conversation with the driver from a distance, and then his mom was like, "Yeah, he's mad as insert a 4-letter word."
yeah.
And she didn't say it. I'm just saying, like that's what she meant.
Right. Right. That was super cool, and of course AMS. Shout out to the folks at AMS for having Atlanta Motor Speedway for having us.
Thank you,
Mandy, and everybody else. We drove up to like where you know how you go into a stadium and like on the left side and right on the left side is where the stadium is. On the right side there's like vendors selling hot dogs and stuff. We're driving through that area in my truck, going up through there like we're supposed to be here. Evidently, I don't know what's going on, but here we are.
It was weird. 2 years in a row, it was weird.
Yeah, and then
but awesome.
Get on that elevator.
We were actually supposed to be there.
Yep. So that was super cool. And they this time they just kind of let us. They were like, "Y'all know where you're going. Just go ahead and go there." And turns out we didn't know where we were going.
Right.
We got up there. We're like, I don't know which.
I don't think this is it.
Floor,
I'm
which
not sure.
thing. I don't know. We'll just keep walking around until we.
Thankfully, we ran into Mandy, and she was like, she's like, "It's over there."
Oh,
that's where y'all were supposed to be. And then we were like in an area where like there were other people, and we're like, "No, we're too loud. Like we have to go in the next room."
Yeah,
which is like the main press room.
Yep. Oh, it was so much fun. So we just got off the phone with a very special person who's been on the show several times, and she has her own podcast that she started up, Miss Kelly Crandall. She asked us to be on our show and on her show, and we were honored beyond honor about being able to be over there and have fun and talking with her and stuff. And I told Sherwin on that show that it was the intimidating part is that she's a journalist. She knows how to ask people questions and how to do stuff. We have no idea what we're doing when we have people on and talk to them and ask them questions. So it was like, oh, wow, I'm being interviewed. Do I need to like wear a bow tie or something? I'm not sure what I do. Where do I put my hands? I don't know how this works.
Right. Straight up Talladega Nights.
Yeah. What do I do?
You know, like so that I would say that's probably the coolest thing that we've been able to do yet, based on how awesome the content that she's been producing from her podcast. I mean, certainly we want to thank Jeff Gluck for letting me be on the post-race podcast after Darlington last year. Sorry again that you were not able to be there for extenuating circumstances.
Yep.
But that was so much. That was cool to me. That to draw attention enough that Kelly would want to have us on when she has like Tony Gibson and
Rick
like,
Mast
and Rick Mast and stuff on like that. So that to me, that sort of validates that what we're doing is kind of fun, and people are interested in hearing what maybe we have to say sometimes.
Yeah, bull spit. They don't care what we have to say. They just care. Hey, Kelly's on, and I'll listen to her stuff.
Well, so that's probably right. That's probably more right.
It's fun. But thank you, Kelly. That was a blast. We might have messed some stuff up, and it probably got sideways there. We were maybe 2 minutes in, and she goes, "This is going to be the funniest podcast I've done yet." I'm like, well, hey, you invited us on. This is on you now,
right?
You know we're going to
drink. Own this.
Yeah, what's going on? So
she listens. She knows what she's getting into.
Right? Sherwin, is it you put it in the show notes before report card? The big reveal. Is it time for the big reveal now or later?
Oh, no, it's fine now. Why don't we do it now?
I don't know what the big reveal is, y'all, because I told Troy, he sent me some, like, abbreviated show notes, and I was like, okay, I got them in, but what's big reveal? He's like, you'll see. I'm like, all right. So it's time for big reveal for everyone but Sherwin. I have no idea.
All right, so on the heels of Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton and Steve Letarte wearing throwback vintage T-shirts in the booth last weekend, our T-shirts for Darlington have come in.
Oh, no.
So we're going to reveal those now.
Now, here goes nothing.
And I know Rusty's going to be super excited.
got to be kidding. So he's reaching in right now. I didn't get to wear last year's, and I had the Davey Allison shirt, so I've got to find a way to get the Davey Allison. And by the way, it's in my drawer right now as like the #1 ready to rock shirt. So now here comes something. He's pulling stuff out. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Are you ready? I've already got goosebumps. Might cry like a little bit.
So we talked about this kind of a little bit in Kelly's podcast.
Oh crap! I don't even know what
about who like that you would identify with as an old school racer. And,
okay.
And why this shirt might mean
talk.
something to you.
Okay. All right. Oh, crap. All right, here it is. I'm seeing the shirt, y'all, for the first time. You know what? I'm going to reveal it to the posse before me. Like, I'm not even going to look yet. I have no idea what's on here. Here goes nothing. There's that. I see some orange. Yes. The Tide Ride, baby. I love this. America's favorite. This is fantastic. I was about to say I'm going to wear it now, but I'm not. I'm not going to wear it till Darlington. I love this. This is awesome. Look at that. Look at his goofy smile and all that. This is the Ricky Rudd number 10 Tide Ride. I love this shirt. Thanks, man. This is so cool.
We got the Dayglow orange, and we got America's favorite for you. And so for me, what we've got is the last American hero.
Oh, crap. Oh, Junior Johnson in the bud. Look at that. Holy crap, dude. That shirt rules. Look at that trucker hat. I mean, not just trucker, but I mean, I'm talking tall, y'all. And grinning ear to ear, and that bud car. Wow. That is killer.
So this is Darlington for us this year.
Holy crap. When am I going to wear my Davey Allison shirt? Like, I got to figure that thing out, too.
Well, you can wear it on Friday.
I will go back and forth between these two.
Irvin on Friday.
Hell
yes. By the way, Ernie Irvin is firing back up because he's got a kid that's racing now.
Oh,
Jared.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Y'all.
We'll have to pay attention to that.
I'm super excited about this now. I'm going to see what we're doing now is putting together a repertoire of shirts that we will own Darlington. You know, in like 3 to 4 years, we'll have a whole week's worth of shirts that will be in the rotation.
Oh, absolutely.
That is fantastic. Thanks, man. This is awesome. I'm super excited. Oh, man. I don't know what to say. We're going to have so much fun in Darlington. That's coming up soon. We'll talk about it here in a bit. But before we do that, let's tear it down. So it is time for the report card, Sherwin. I have been on vacation. I keep saying I've been out in Hawaii and all that. So I missed 1.5 races. We haven't talked about 3 races, I think, because of the way like the weeks line up and stuff. We didn't talk about Daytona. We didn't talk about Kentucky. We didn't talk about Loudon. We didn't talk. Actually, I guess that's 4. Like we didn't talk about.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Daytona
tracks.
because we were at Atlanta.
Yeah,
it was like it was an afterthought.
Right. So let's start with the latest one. Start at Loudon. Sherwin, you had written that that's the best race at Loudon in years. Give us a grade on that race. And I did watch the last 20 or 30 laps or so, and I've got my own stuff. But give us that grade and tell us what's up.
Well, I think it's got to be pretty much an A+ because we had Kurt Busch win the pole. We had Martin Truex lead a lot of the race. We had Chase Elliott pass Martin Truex for the lead and lead about 25 laps or something like that.
I actually did see that part. Yep.
And we had a bump and run at the end. And like whether you're a Harvick fan or a Kyle Busch fan, like that's NASCAR as an F word, as we say. NASCAR AF. Like he only harvested 1 spot. We talked about that with Kelly earlier tonight. That's what the bump and run is. That's what stock car racing is. When you take a position from somebody, if you do it not based on being faster and finding a faster line, if you do it based on contact, you cannot cost them their race.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you saw in Kyle Busch's interview after the race is that he was like, okay, I mean, you race how you race, but I still finished second.
Yeah. And that was the Kyle and Kyle thing back in Chicago with Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and Kyle Larson put it on Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch put it back on Kyle Larson, and Kyle Larson was not pissed at the end. He's like, "Oh, that's racing. What can you say?" Like, that's
he said, "I love racing Kyle Busch, man. It's like that guy is so freaking good. I love racing him." And I think if you got Kevin outside of a booth and out away from a microphone, he would say, "I love racing Kyle Busch. I love beating him, but I love beating him because he's so freaking good."
Yeah, yeah. And JoJo says she gives it an A and says, "Couldn't walk away from my TV." Totally get what you're saying there. I watched the last 20 or 30 laps, but I mean, just enthralled. And I was following it along on my phone while I'm coming back from the airport and stuff, completely jet lagged. I was thinking it was 2 a.m. or whatever it is, but I'm sitting there following along and then get home and be able to see the last portion. I was beside myself. But Sherwin, we talked about with Kelly. We shouldn't keep saying that because I mean, nobody's heard that podcast yet,
right? Nobody's heard it yet,
But we've said that Loudon was really high on our list of bucket list tracks, and the
because I want to eat some lobster.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And what do we call it? We called it our power ranking of that track has just lowered over the last several years, and then suddenly, boom, it's right back up there again. And if they can continue to deliver that kind of product. Not just the end, but the whole race throughout.
Yeah, I would say you might see
right back up.
Yeah, you might see us there in 2020 if 2019 is as good of a race as this one was.
Right
here in 2018.
Right,
that 2020 that might be our race that we like. You plan your vacation around. So and we can go to it.
Hey, we ain't just talkers, y'all. We've been to Phoenix this year. We've been to Vegas. We've been to Eldora. We will fly to a damn racetrack.
Yeah,
don't dare.
I mean, yeah, just a little rundown. Atlanta, Bristol, Phoenix, Talladega, Michigan.
Yeah, and
we ain't.
And
scared.
we're only like 60% of the way through.
And we got Bristol and Darlington still to go. And by the way, Brandon Cansian. It's on.
Yeah. Oh, it's
it
on.
Is on.
Oh, it's on. And we always get that itch too, don't we? There's always that late fall
I'll tell
itch.
you what, that September 30th date, the Roval.
And there's
it's
a Roval.
Short drive.
Yeah. I smell what you're stepping in. So yeah, I'm giving that straight A+.
Hey, Hurricanes, how about you take a break this year
on Loudon? You know what? We're late to the game on this one. Let's go to second period. Dirt track racing. So I didn't watch a race. I was out doing my own thing in playing in that red dirt out in Kauai. But I did see at the end. So I only see the results. But when you see the results, there's this perspective that you get. It said Chase Briscoe followed by Grant Enfinger and Stuart Friesen.
Yeah, Friesen.
Yeah, Friesen. And I thought, wow, that is not what I expected. But also, I mean, what you see come out of Eldora in the last few years is, what is it in back in the Busch series? Names are made here, right? And Xfinity, whatever we're saying now, Nationwide and all that. Names are made here. But I feel like what we see at Eldora in those top, 3, 5, whatever, those are names to keep up with. We all know Chase Briscoe. We all know Grant Enfinger. I say we all know, but maybe he's. What I'm trying to say, I guess, is that Chase Briscoe, I think, is on everybody's radar. Grant Enfinger is maybe on half people's radar. And Stuart Friesen is on some people's radar. But I think these could possibly be the next name. Sherwin?
Yeah, so Friesen was one of the favorites to win the race because he's a dirt guy. Chase Briscoe raced for Brad Keselowski Racing a few races. He wasn't full-time. He's also a dirt guy, an open-wheel dirt guy, I believe. People can correct me if I'm wrong. Grant Enfinger has been a closed-wheel racer for quite some time right now, but definitely put on a good show. Like, the finish was exactly what you would want. The same reason why Tony Stewart would be hollering out, hey, I want an Xfinity race, I want a Cup race, how do we make this happen? It was a great race. I don't know that the heat races were all that fantastic to watch. I only paid partial attention to them. Attention. Sometimes talking on the microphone's hard, y'all.
Mm-hmm. What you need is a shot of Leyenda
I
del
need a
Milagro.
shot of tequila. Absolutely, I need a shot of tequila on hashtag National Tequila Day.
Yep.
But no, the finish was absolutely fantastic, and it was fantastic for multiple laps. Like the feature was great. Eldora will hold a special place in our hearts because of having gone last year and seen how special it is. And I don't think people realize how special that Tuesday night is, even though Wednesday night's the big show, but Tuesday night's really special too.
I'm not going to say I had more fun, but I was more surprised on Tuesday night.
I was surprised by how much fun that series was. The super big block open wheels were. So if you have a chance to go to Eldora for those races in July, if you want to make a vacation out of that, one of the best things we could possibly do is not make this weekend or last weekend the races they were, but make one of them Michigan so that people could potentially go to Eldora in Michigan, and it's really not, that's not a long drive. If you're making like a 7-day vacation out of it, you could do that.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to third period. We're late to this game, so we were kind of late. We were on time for one of them.
Well, late models are fun. Late models are even more fun.
Yeah, but Kentucky, we haven't talked about it. We don't have to go far. I didn't watch any of the Kentucky race. I was off doing who knows what on vacation. But
that race sucked.
Oh man, it's a bummer to hear, but also not surprising to me based on that racetrack.
New surface.
Yeah,
still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, and Truex
put the tire dragging in the low groove.
And
like, really?
If you tell me that a big 3 has to win it, I'm rooting for Truex. So it's cool to see that he won that one.
Oh man, I'm always rooting for Truex when it comes to those guys.
Yeah,
I mean, how's that not a better story?
But what's the difference? What happened in that race that you're off mic sucked? What was the suck in that?
I didn't watch it.
Oh. Cheers. Let's do the shot of tequila on Tequila Day, y'all. If you're not doing a shot of tequila with us,
I've read about it.
At least talk to us about it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, down it goes.
Tequila
is so good.
Pee Wee Herman. Remember that dance thing?
Oh, dude, I did that in Hawaii 4 days ago. and
awesome.
They were playing it on a boat, and I was standing on the front of the boat, and I was getting hit by all the water that was coming up, and I was struggling to stay up because they served beer on the boat. And they started playing tequila, and I'm up there Pee Wee Hermaning, and then tequila. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's funny.
This is what we do on this show, y'all.
Right.
That's what this is.
We're not just putting on a game here either.
It's like happy hour.
This is how I act. I mean, in real life too.
It's real. None of this is embellished. That's what the thing is. And I don't think anybody that actually pays attention thinks it's embellished.
Right.
But I mean, it just anybody that's ever been at the racetrack with us knows that this is for real.
That's how it rolls. So let's just move on to fourth period then. Late to the game.
With it.
We haven't even talked about Daytona since being here because we
Z-.
So here's the thing: I'm kind of torn between an A+ and an F-, on that race. It's weird because of all
Ricky
the
Stenhouse wrecked 37 cars.
I was going to say he has a lot of debt equity too that he has to pay for, and that'll come up here in a moment in fifth period because I wanted to talk about that. But it was as predicted, didn't we say this? We said that Talladega seems to be the place where it's the racers' super speedway, and then Daytona is the coin flip
by chance
roulette wheel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who knows what's going to happen? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The same wreck is going to take out the last place car and the first place car and the second place car and the 14th place car.
So the thing that we didn't say, because we absolutely do our level best not to poo-poo the sport, because we're here to promote it. This is what we do. We love NASCAR, and that's what we're trying to do here.
But we're not going to be dishonest.
But we are just, we are deadpan honest, and the reason why we said we thought you might see, your best chance to see a different winner, a new winner, or a first-time winner at Daytona in July is that it is an absolute ish show.
Mm-hmm.
And Ricky Stenhouse helped everybody out with that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm seeing the comments coming. This is hilarious. Roger says, Ricky Spinhouse Jr., and Brendan Carl says, it's not often that you can claim that you single-handedly wrecked over half the field. LMAO.
Twice.
I think LMAO is...
Oh, he wrecked more than...
Oh, yeah. There was 3 times
he wrecked 37 cars if you go and add them all up.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, but on the flip side of that, so what did we do when we were picking? We just picked off-the-wall crazy stuff.
Oh, hell yeah, we did. Yeah. I don't even remember who we picked.
But Eric Jones, like, you can't... I don't feel like I can feel... I don't know how to say it. I don't feel like I can say that race was terrible and Eric Jones won it. Like, it was really cool to see Eric Jones in victory lane and be, appreciative. We knew it was going to be something off the wall or whatever, and he was so cool about it. And he knows. He's not an idiot, He knows that this was the product of Daytona racing. But you have to take advantage of the situation you're given, and he did. And I thought it was cool to see him win. Like, not just cool, I thought it was awesome to see him, take the checker.
I thought the way he handled it was awesome, 100% awesome. The way he experienced it, the way he handled it, it was very cool. What was it? 4 weeks ago, I was closer to him than you and I are right now. On the Lap Traffic Brandon Crowds podcast, and talking to him, and I asked him a really stupid question, as it turns out, because I'm not a good interviewer.
What's your favorite underwear color?
Well, it wasn't that stupid, but it was close. It was very close to that stupid. And so, I love it for him because we all expect him to win. So it's like, all right, you get that win. Like, maybe a couple different times we've seen the guy win one of these kind of deals that, maybe you don't expect them to win anymore. Like, we don't expect David Reagan to win any more races. As much as we love him, he's a Georgia Tech fan. He's from Unadilla, Georgia. We love the guy. Like, he's our guy.
Hell yeah.
Hometown kid, our home state kid. But we don't expect him to win races. We expect Eric Jones to win races. Mm-hmm. So, like, you got to start somewhere. If you get, thrown the ace of spades because Ricky Stenhouse wrecks, 37 cars out of the race, and you just happen to be there at the end, then, that's good luck. Good on you. Casey led laps and finished like 7th.
Hell yeah, he did. I was super excited.
He was he was going to win that race if it went green. By the way,
hell yeah. My hands were ready.
He was doing the thing,
y'all. I've got a new couch and I've got a new floor. They were ready to meet each other in the air, and then subsequently on the ground. I was super excited. I was ready to roll with that. But Brandon Carl just made me do a spit take here. He says the Daytona race was exactly like iRacing's unofficial truck series for rookies. I love when you pile it on like that. That's funny.
Just stack them high and knock them over.
That's hilarious. Good job. Thank you, Brandon, for that one.
That was good.
Fifth period. Let's talk about playoffs.
Playoffs? We're talking playoffs?
We're talking playoffs. It's been a few weeks since we talked about, the series, the Cup Series and all that. Let's grade these guys. We got 6 races to go until the playoffs start, right? So let's talk about where people are. I'm gonna give them in 2s, okay? So let's talk Jimmy and Chase. Jimmy's 97 to the good. Chase is 95 to the good. Give us a grade, Sherwin.
I think they're probably both fine, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're actually running very consistently. They're just running very consistently between 10th and 20th.
Yeah.
And that's how you maintain the points.
Yeah. We're not talking about who makes it a Homestead yet. We'll talk about that eventually.
Just who gets there.
And by the way, Kelly Crandall put us, they put Baby in a corner, and she made us talk about that, which is fine. I love you, Kelly.
Oh yeah, she set fire up under our.
Oh yeah. That. So I had to make a choice on that. I think they're both A, like straight up A. Jimmy plus 97 consistency. Chase, I feel like he gets. I'm not going to say A plus. But, like, he gets that little bit higher A. You know when you, like, made a 93 in a class and the guy next to you who probably shouldn't have, but he, like, made a 96? You're like, damn it, what did he do? Like, yeah, screw you, dude. But it doesn't matter. You both got the A. You both got the 4.0 in the thing, and, who cares? But you're like, how did he do better than me? But I feel like Chase, even though he's plus 95 to Jimmy's plus 97, I feel like Chase is a little bit – he's got the 96 right now in terms of momentum and inertia.
Well, I think Chase has led close to about 100 laps, and Jimmy's led 2. So, at the end of the day, the finish obviously definitely matters. What I would say is let's talk about the Chevys. So we got Kyle up in 10th, who is almost 2x ahead of where Jimmy's at. And then we have Jimmy, Chase, and Alex, who are all HMS. So what I would say is I would give Kyle Larson an A for being the only Chevy that's in the top 10. I would give Hendrick Motorsports maybe a C+ or a B- in that they're probably going to get at least 2 cars in. But they suck compared to what we expect out of Hendrick Motorsports.
So I'll give this one. Let's talk about Bowman. Bowman's plus 28. Where do you think Bowman is? His chances in the playoffs to make the playoffs? Because he's the first one that is plus.
I think he's in trouble because Daniel Suarez is fast enough to win a race. I don't think Newman, Menard, or Stenhouse are fast enough to win a race before we get to the playoffs. I think Suarez might be fast enough.
You think Suarez? Where do we have another road course before then?
Suarez is not really a road course guy.
No, he's not.
But he drives a Gibbs car.
Well,
that's sort of where I'm at with that.
Yeah. Good point. So Bowman, I'm giving a straight up C. So I've got A's for Jimmy and Chase. I've got Bowman at a C. Let's talk about Stenhouse and Menard. Stenhouse minus 28, Menard minus 29. What are your thoughts there?
As much as I wanted to give credit for Paul Menard early in the season and the Wood brothers for how good of cars they were building when Blaney was driving them and how much they've rebounded now that they're running full time. And Menard, I think, is a very consistent guy. I would have expected him to be somewhere around where that Eric Almirola range is.
Oh, that's like a plus 150 or something right now.
So
he's comfortably.
I think they're underperforming right now as we come into race 21.
So for me, here's the fun part. I'm giving Bowman a C. I'm giving Stenhouse a C- because he has that debt equity from Daytona.
I didn't grade Stenhouse.
And then Menard, I'm going to give a B. I think Menard can jump those two in a stealth mode. Somebody's going to be mad at Stenhouse, and Bowman's just not going to perform. I'm going to call Menard in the chase or in the playoffs. So, I say chase when I get excited, and I say playoffs when I'm being like level-headed. So,
no, you're right.
I think it has to do with syllables. Like chase just has like a thing to it.
I don't know. So, especially now that we're not allowed to call it the chase anyway. It's not the chase anymore.
Definitely the chase then.
So, if you were asking me to bet on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. versus Paul Menard, I'm going to bet on Paul Menard every time. Because Ricky hits walls. Paul Menard just races cars.
Yeah.
The problem is if Newman wins a race, if Suarez wins a race, what I'd really like to see is Paul Menard win Pocono and just put it to rest and say, this is where we're at. We just won a damn race, and y'all just shut the
front door.
Shut the front door.
Yeah. So Newman minus 74. I believe at a minus 74, you're at a must-win situation with 6 to go. Do you think? I mean, what is that? I'm giving him straight up like D- at this point. It depends. I don't see him as a winner. That's the thing. Like I see him as a Mr. Consistency, I see
him as a nuisance.
Well, there's a lot of that.
I mean, there was a major talk on professional shows, and on the broadcast that Newman actually pointed Ryan Blaney down and let him go. It was like, Newman doesn't do that.
That's like that's like a shut the front door.
It's like a new thing.
Yeah.
That we don't know about.
Whoa. So I don't see Newman winning a race. So I'm giving him that's a straight up D-. He would have to just surprise me.
Well, so to me, to
get into the playoffs.
Yeah. So you and I like to object to each other a lot,
sure,
and to make sure that we have the appropriate amount of banter on this show. But what was RCR's expectation this year? Like they're so much farther behind Hendrick, and they're racing Chevrolets, and the Hendrick cars
suck this year.
Suck. So what are we? What are we supposed to do with this? Like, I almost think the fact that Newman has like a mathematical possibility of making the chase means like they're like breaching new grounds. I'm not saying give him an A. I'm saying give him an A for finally figuring out how to point the finger out the left window and let somebody go. You jerk.
Well, I mean, we're talking about participation trophies at this point.
Well, I mean, in NASCAR, there aren't really a whole shitload of those.
You dropped the S-bomb before I did, and I almost fell back in my chair, so good deal. So Suarez, I already give Newman the D-. I'm actually giving Suarez the C- for myself.
Like positive
he's got a possibility of winning. You already said this before. There's a he has to win at minus 94. You got to win. But I think he can sniff at that. What are you sniffing at?
I don't know. Something's making noise over here. I'm trying to shut it up.
But
Sorry.
I think that's a possibility. What do you think?
I told Siri to like play something.
and she's playing. She's going to give us some background music.
It's like a Josh Wolf. It's Prince and the Wolf. Fun podcast, but I wasn't trying to play it.
Not what we're trying to do right this second. But Suarez, where are you at?
You know what? Even in the second year, being 20th, I'm going to go ahead and give him a solid B-. I think a lot has been asked of him.
Hold on.
Who do we have here?
Hold on. We have on the line the Orange Cone.
Hey,
what's up,
guys? What's up?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe
this is a surprise.
This was a surprise to me.
Surprise!
The Orange Cone. What's happening, dude?
I just finished a little Utah standoff. I won.
Well,
who won?
Yeah, who was the winner? Question mark.
I won.
Well done.
I don't know.
Good. Do we congratulate you for that or make fun of you? Oh, what's going on?
I am the winner.
Oh, what is going down?
Oh, just I was bored listening to your show. I'm like, you know what? I got to liven these two guys up a little bit.
We haven't drank enough tequila for you?
Right. Yeah, you guys need to get a little more blank-faced. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that on the show?
Bleep face, blank face, that's fine.
It's all good.
Bag-faced. They're bag-faced. Yeah.
This was not.
Speaking of faces, Sherwin, did you get attacked by a pack of bees or what?
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, man.
Sherwin's beard went the way of the
took the weed
Indians.
eater to the face there.
It took me so.
You know what it is? Yeah, it's a little easier on the ladies that way, isn't it?
That's what it is.
Yep. That's
exactly
how that went down.
I was gonna say let's call a spade a spade.
Call a spade a spade.
But here's what's funny. So, I mean, we're so much in the groove. Like Sherwin just walks in my house. I don't care that he does or whatever. We go and get I go and get beers. We filled up the whole ice bucket. We brought everything upstairs. Did two different things. Did two different trips upstairs. And we sit down in our respective positions, and I look up, and I went, ah! It took me that long.
I'm not ugly without a beard.
Sherwin was here for 15 minutes before I knew that anything was up. Like, that's how much that he just walks in, what's up, dude? Oh, yeah, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. But it took us, it was Sherwin until upstairs that I realized what was going on.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I thought you would have called the cops on him and like some crazy maniac has broken in my house.
It crossed my mind. I mean, not gonna lie. But
hey, Sherwin, you do look like a serial killer now. Just so you know.
Did you see? All right, so let's get away from that. Obviously, I ain't trying to be John Wayne Gacy.
Wait, why? I mean, serial killers can be fun.
Well,
with the clown shoes and stuff.
Did you see?
Yeah, I mean, did you see it? That was a totally funny movie.
I've seen like all
hey, Georgie, it's a paper boat, man. You can make another one. He's gonna eat your damn arm off. All right, he ate your arm off, dummy. That's what you get. It's a clown in a goddamn sewer. Come on.
Now we're talking about it.
Now we broke it down. Yeah. Now we made it happen.
Right, so there. Listen, all right. This always bothers me about this movie. Okay, so at the end of that movie, this kid, one of those kids, had his entire face bitten by the clown, right? Like the clown wrapped his mouth around this kid's head. And the kid goes home with his head wrapped in a bandage. Okay? How does that kid explain that to his mother and not get thrown in an insane asylum?
Good.
Hey, because it was Tommy, what happened to you? He's like, Mom, check it out. This freaking clown wrapped his mouth around my head and almost ate my face.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't know
what to tell you.
What's going on.
If we're talking about clowns, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome
the Orange
to the show.
Speaking of clowns, what's Stang up to tonight?
Well, she was on earlier, and then she went off, then she's back on, and et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if she sent us a question. So
we did. I sent it to you.
Oh, you did send it to me. So we'll have to get to it in a minute. But since you're on here, we're going to talk about we just made it to recess. We got finished with fifth period. We're going to recess.
All right. All right.
Sherwin, finish this sentence for me. You can take the boy out of the South,
but you can't take the South out the boy.
So here's the deal, y'all. I'm in Kauai. Now, here's the thing. This was my last week and a half. I was on vacation and doing all that. My play them the tiniest fiddle. My parents actually, they live in Kauai. My dad got a job transfer there, and it's so funny.
Rusty's dad
did their house burn down in that volcano eruption? Is that why we're upset about it?
So I call them the Clampetts moved to Kauai.
Yeah, no. The Rusty's parents moving to Hawaii is the hillbillies.
Oh yeah. I say if y'all want to know what my mom sounds like,
it's like Jeff Foxworthy joke.
Think of Paula Deen without like the racist stuff. Like she.
Oh, okay.
That's
like
what
Justin Wilson. Like Justin Wilson,
yes,
the old Southern
Justin,
Cajun chef.
Justin
right?
Wilson, the old. Well, he was more Cajun, right?
Yeah, he was very Cajun.
He was.
Yeah. But my mom is, oh, hey, y'all. Like, she turns one syllable words into two. The word head to her is head. Get that off your head. Like head. That's my mom.
Get it off your head.
Right. And so they live in Kauai now, and so my dad tells me, he's like, dude, you got to come see me. Because as soon as I retire, because this was all a job transfer thing, he goes, as soon as I retire, I can't afford to live here no more. You got to come see the house and stuff. This thing's crazy. So we go out there, right? And we spent 4 days with them. We spent 4 days in a separate condo or whatever. And I come back. So here's the thing with you can take, and I'm so glad we got the orange cone on right now. Because here's what happens.
It's perfect.
Right outside. So they live on a golf course. I mean, this is how insane this whole thing is, right? In paradise, there's palm trees and mountains and perfection
and lava.
Yeah. Well, no, this is Kauai. This is way far away from the lava. Yeah. No. This is like 6 islands away. Like this is far away as you can get from the lava stuff. But there was a tree right behind their house that got took down, and they put an orange cone over the. Yeah. There you go. Over the stump of this tree because they hadn't taken the stump out yet, and they live on a golf course. This is hole number 2. It's a par 5. It is pristine. They come out there with like scissors to cut the grass and stuff, and they didn't want any golf carts running over the tree stump, so they put an orange cone over it, right? And so outside that,
you mean they didn't want any rednecks running over?
Well, right.
That's right.
So here's the thing. So I'm going to switch gears for a second. Dad. As I'm, we stayed with him for a couple nights on the front end, a couple nights on the back end, right? On the back end, Dad comes to me. He goes, dude, the Kmart down the street, they're closing down. Everything's 50% off. We gotta go. Kmart. It is. This is exactly what happened. This is the Clampetts moved to
Kmart on Kauai.
Yes. Well, for the next few months, I guess.
For like another 90 days.
Yeah. He's like, Kmart's closing down.
You could get some. Toilet paper 50% off is a good deal, man.
Fair enough. But he goes, dude, 50% off everything at Kmart. We got to go now. Okay, fine. So he comes back, and he bought out of nowhere, he bought a BB gun pistol. And
wait a minute.
And
He's not
30 CO2 cartridges and 1,000 BBs. I'm dead serious on this. I'm going to post a picture for y'all on Twitter, okay? And so this is you can take the boy out of the South. You can't take the South out of the boy. We take a water bottle, and I set it upside down in the orange cone, and I don't
like this, Rusty. I don't like it.
I have a picture. Well, it was narrow misses, but I have pictures. I'll put it on the podcast handle of my dad standing on his back porch of his house in Paradise with a pistol pointed at a water bottle upside down on top of an orange cone with palm trees, mountains, and a pristine golf course behind him, shooting BBs.
You guys are
at this.
You guys are
Jurassic
irrationally
Park.
staying excited thinking about shooting an orange cone.
We might have graced the orange cone a couple times. I'm just saying, but
grazed it.
The target was the water bottle. And we hit it several times, and it was so much fun to me. And that picture to me, because I took the picture, not even thinking about it. I took it, and I looked at it later, and I went, I can't believe Dad is standing on the back porch in Kauai, shooting his BB gun. Yeah, hey, dude, we gotta go to Kmart. It's 50% off, man. And he got that.
And they still have BB guns.
And they have BB guns in Kauai, evidently, that are pistols. And shooting it at that, I thought it was the greatest thing I've seen in a long time for redneck. There's never been
rednecks unite.
There's never been more redneck that's happened on the island of Kauai. So props to Dad for that one.
That is pretty strong. I heard a story the other day about this dude who took a chunk of flying lava to the back on a tour boat over there by one of the lava waterfalls going into the ocean. Now that is a story to tell.
I think you're the first person to say chunk of lava in those three words in that permutation ever.
Yeah, he took a chunk of lava to the back. You know you're a badass when that happens.
Right?
You're like, hey, man, I stubbed my toe. And the guy's like, quit being a freaking wussy. I took a chunk of flying lava to the back.
Right? So, Cone, are you going to be at Bristol? I mean, we're talking about 3 weeks until Bristol, and then 2 weeks.
What is the date there?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
21st.
Yeah? Question mark. It's 3 weeks until Bristol, and then 2 weeks from then at Darlington. Are we going to see you at either one of those?
Oh boy!
Get your Midwestern ass out of.
It's highly unlikely, guys. It's highly unlikely. Yeah, I would love to go though.
That's that bull spit.
Yeah, that's okay. We understand. We're going to see you soon.
Stan keeps me on a pretty tight leash.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but you said it. So.
No. So, that new gig that I have, precludes me from doing a lot of other racing activities, but. Yeah, no, I would really like to go to Bristol's always a fun place, and Darlington, I just want to go to look at the throwbacks,
Absolutely.
Hey, man, absolutely.
Hey, you know what we should do? Just to bore the living hell out of Ashley, let's just actually talk about racing for a while.
Absolutely congrats on the new gig with ARCA, man.
That's so cool.
We're very happy for you.
Good times. It's good times. I'm having a real good, a lot of fun with it. In all honesty, it's been a very warm welcome. Yeah, that's all I can say is I'm having a lot of fun. It's just that's all.
We were sad we couldn't make it to Eldora, so you could tell us we were the shittiest podcast on the internet.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. And you know what? That actually was a fantastically fun day. Probably the best of the 5 races that I've seen there. I'm a horrible guy, and I missed the first one, but I've been to all 5. After that was just, the heat races were great. Last chance race was great. The feature was great. The crowd was phenomenal. Very active, very engaged. it was just a really fun. Weather was perfect. It was just a really fun day. I wish you guys would have been there. You guys would have loved it.
Wow. Appreciate that.
Well, we want to come back for sure.
Absolutely. So let's
come up next year.
Sure, when we talked about it, this weekend will be 3 weeks until Bristol. I can't believe it. And then 2 weeks after
what
that.
What are you guys doing at Bristol? What are you guys doing there? Are you guys having a big
Utah standoff?
Oh, we're going to have, it's a bracketed Utah standoff.
Bracketed.
All right, yes.
64 teams. Yes. Or is it like Thunderdome? 2 teams enter, 1 team win.
You have to enter as a dual group. Like, it's like,
hey, Sherwin, remember, you can't break eye contact.
Eye contact, watch out. But if y'all are going to be there, I mean, we know Brandon's going to be at Darlington and Cancian. We're super excited to see y'all. And
Brandon is going to Darlington.
Yeah.
He got the kitchen Atlanta. Pass. We're gonna drag his ass there.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Three-way gets to make a road trip.
Yes. yes. Lindsay must have found something more fun to do.
Lindsay was like, "You need to get the F out of here."
Yeah, pretty much.
I need a break from your ass. Get out. Go hang out with those hillbillies down in Atlanta. Get out of here.
Yeah, buddy.
So let's
Plateau Billies.
Let's go to the Ask PTM questions and see what Cone's got to say. Maccabee Motorsports or Maccabi Motorsports? MCABEE15 says, after all the Roval testing has been completed, what do you expect the race will be like or hope to be? Hashtag Captain and Coke.
I hope this is my hope. I hope it's the first ever NASCAR race that no one finishes. Because that's what it looks like based on testing.
I
think it's gonna be action packed for sure. That track is pretty tough. It's really tight. There's walls are really close to the racetrack all the way around. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really hard for these guys not only to race each other but race the racetrack. It's gonna be tough. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, restarts are going to be real dumb. Crazy.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the restarts. Yeah.
I think we're all just waiting. It's almost like, you know how everybody stops for a wreck on the highway? But if you told everybody there's about to be a wreck right in front of you, that is what we're all like, ooh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Like that. I think that's the anticipation that people have. It's not like, all right, I'm looking forward to the Roval. It's like, all right, what the hell is going to happen here?
Yeah, turn one.
It's like the old. It's going to be like the old. Remember those old slot car tracks that had the jam car on it?
Yes,
that's what it's. That's what this is going to be.
I know what you're saying. Mick Rose at GoDucks42 _ Mick. If NASCAR was to add a second dirt track to the schedule, would you like to see a second truck race added? Maybe Knoxville or Lucas Oil Speedway, or add an Xfinity race or Cup race at Eldora? Where would if there's another dirt track race? Where should we see it? Cone, give us the answer.
Well, I'm very biased towards Eldora, obviously. My friend Kendra is part of the promotional team at Knoxville, and I know she would do a backflip to have the possibility of running a NASCAR-sanctioned race there. Of course, working within ARCA, we go to a couple of dirt mile tracks every year at Springfield and Du Quoin. Those would be a lot of fun. There really aren't many dirt tracks in the country that could host one of these types of events. A cup race might be a little too much to ask at this point. And honestly, I don't foresee that happening. An Xfinity race, I think, would be possible at some point at Eldora in particular. I mean, they're already doing a truck race. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I would like to see, I don't really – I mean, I am – like I said, I'm very biased towards Eldora. I would like to see that happen, but – other than that, I really don't have a dog in the fight. If the racetrack can handle the event and they can afford the event, I'm fine with it. I just hope if it's an Xfinity race or another truck race, I don't want the same format to be used. I would like for them to come up with a different format for the event. Whether you do, some sort of qualifying heat races or in a last chance race and the feature that's great. I just don't want it to be the exact same format.
Yeah. So you mentioned your friend Kendra. Is that Kendra Jacobs?
Yep, Kendra Jacobs, who's part of the promotional team out there at Knoxville. Yep.
Gotcha.
That's
cool.
Awesome. For me and Brendan Carl, was on the chat here, and he I will say stole, but I wouldn't say stole because he didn't know I was going to say it. But I think the most I don't know, logical one for me is and this would be we talked about this on Kelly's show earlier, Sherwin.
Sure did.
Which is opportunity stuff. If you want to take advantage of an opportunity, run a dirt race for a NASCAR series at the Charlotte dirt track before the Cup race at Charlotte.
Why
before
not?
the Coke 600.
Why not?
And that would be a cannot not miss it. You know what I mean? Or cannot miss it.
Yeah, I think here's what the problem that I would have with that is that's a market that NASCAR is already in. So you're already
it's fair
in that area. I would take it somewhere where there isn't a NASCAR race at all. Knoxville, Iowa is 30 minutes from Iowa Speedway, so you're already there, kind of. But I also think it's that's not the world capital of NASCAR by any stretch of the means either. So that it could work.
So
Eldora is 3.5 hours away from the next nearest racetrack that has a NASCAR sanctioned event. So that's why it works there. I think is that it's the only event of its kind there, and Charlotte already has. Unless you're going to move one of those events across the street, you're not going to move the 600 across the street. You're not going to move the Roval race across the street. You're not going to move the All-Star race, I don't think. So you would need to move the trucks, or you're going to move Xfinity.
Why not?
I think it needs to be if that's what you're going to do. It can't be a new event. They would have to move one from the big track.
For me, it's the fact that me and Sherwin have been to the 600, and I don't intend to go back to the 600 before I go to a bunch of other races.
Yep.
But if you're going to run trucks on that dirt, I'm going to be at the truck race every year, and therefore the 600 every year at that point. It's that convenient for us. So in this data set of two people, that can be a draw that makes gets me to the big race too.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yep.
Oh, right, what else you guys got? What is that strange with Stang for this week?
Well, before we get there, let's gas it up. We're going to Pocono.
She said you weren't allowed to answer it, by the way.
We're going to Pocono. Let's start there. Let's just go ahead and with picks. I mean, we all know what Pocono is. We've been there 6 weeks ago. We know what's going on. Cone, give us your pick.
I'm going to pick Kyle Busch because I think he's going to put Kevin Harvick in the wall in turn 3 coming to the checkered flag just for the fun of it. Just because he can. Just because he can.
I like you stirring the pot.
Like, you know what? Screw y'all. I'm going to wreck you because I can. Boom.
I told Kelly Crandall earlier today I was not going to pick Joey Logano. And then now I'm just going to go ahead. No, I'm not. I'm not going to pick Joey Logano. I am picking Chase Elliott for this race. Because it is she asked me if, like, I'm lying left and right. That's the thing. Like, I told her on her podcast that I'm looking out at Joey Logano to see what he's doing and see what Roger Penske's doing for this race, but I'm not picking him. And I told her that I don't think Chevy's going to win until deep in the playoffs when they're no longer in the playoffs. They're just going to win one. Jimmy will win one or something. But I'm going to pick Chase Elliott for this race because if he has a time, now's the time. Dadgummit.
Now
Sherwin.
It is the time.
Yeah.
I know you guys are like from Atlanta and Dawsonville's not that far away, so you like have some unholy alliance with the Elliott family. Come on, guys. Get it together. That ain't happening.
Fair. Sherwin.
Cone, take it easy.
Just let me jump in on you just for a second.
Sure. Go ahead.
I actually have thought a lot about why Hendrick is struggling right now, and it's not like Jimmy's over the hill or Chase doesn't have a lot of talent or Alex Bowman's not a good driver and William Byron, can't get it done. But I think the problem is that 3 of those guys really don't have a lot of Cup experience. I know Bowman's been around a long time, but he's never really been in a really good quality ride. He doesn't have a lot of experience other than on the simulator. He's got a lot of that experience working with those guys, but he doesn't have a lot of experience dealing with crew chiefs and giving feedback the way that the Hendrick people would like to have it. I think that's the problem right now is they've got 3 relatively inexperienced drivers that just aren't able to give that kind of feedback that team needs right now, and that's why they're struggling. It's not like the Camaro isn't like a horrible race car. I mean, they're all pretty much relatively the same aero profile as the Toyota and the Ford. Right now I'm not throwing them under the bus and saying, hey, they're bad drivers, but it's the drivers are the ones who are giving the feedback to the crew chiefs, and I don't think they're getting the feedback that they were used to when they had Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon and back in the day, Terry Labonte and, these championship caliber drivers. It's just going to take them a couple of years to get that notebook build up. Chase, I've seen Chase win some races. I've seen him run competitively in some lower divisions and some short track races. I mean, he can definitely get it done. It's just an experience thing right now.
Yeah. Sherwin.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to pick Ryan Blaney. I mean, that's where I'm at. He's been fast. He's led more laps than anybody. Hadn't won a race yet. He won at Pocono last year. I mean, Ryan flipping Blaney.
I'm digging it.
Ryan Blaney.
So, Sherwin,
that takes us there. Did I cut out there?
A little bit. Yep. Doesn't matter. Takes us to the strangest thing, Sherwin. This is about to get. If it wasn't sideways already, it's probably about to get there. What's the deal?
All right, hold
she
on.
said Cone's not allowed.
This is the only reason that I called in.
Right.
So she texted me, said you're not allowed to answer this.
So here's the funny part, y'all.
What the? All right.
Here's the funny part is Cone calls, and I have an option on my computer to say yes or no.
Or no.
And there was a part of me that said, hey, we're having a pretty good podcast. Things are going pretty well. We're all,
it's a peaceful show.
We've had fun.
No one has made any inappropriate jokes.
People have laughed. Yeah. I don't want to hear about Utah ever again. And then the other side
I hate
went,
that state now.
Yeah. The other side went, oh, it's Cone. We got to answer. I'm glad we did up to this point. Sherwin, give us a stranger's thing.
All
Make
right.
me regret it.
All right, here we go. It's actually not that wild, but
okay.
Here we go. What board game, in your opinion, always ends up in having sore losers? And what's the worst board game loser you have ever played with? And what happened as a result of that person being a sore loser?
Board games. So that's kind of a 2-part question, right? What was the first part of that one? Like the
it was like, what's the
most
worst?
Is chess a board game?
If you wanted to
What's
be.
the worst board game for people?
I mean, because it is a boring
losers?
game, so you would have to be bored to play it technically. But yeah, I think it's played on a chess board, right?
No, we're not. This isn't punny.
No, I'm just saying, but it's a board game. So yeah, I actually played chess recently with a super sore loser. Yeah.
Oh wow. Was it me? Because
we're fixing. I'm fixing to get a text. No. This is going to be great.
Yeah, you're fixing to get a text. Yeah, she's a super cheater at chess. And so I haven't played this game in like 30 years since I was in high school. Yeah, I'm kind of old. All right. So I haven't played this game in a long time. And of course, I start the game and she makes this first move and I'm like, you sure you want to do that? So I'm kind of already in her head a little bit, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. And like 10 minutes into this game, I have her cornered. She can't win. I've got her boxed in. And I'm like, checkmate. And she goes, oh, wait a minute. You can't win like that. Like, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Is that a new rule?
So I let her think like I didn't know what was going on. And then it was a tie at the end, but she's a super poor sport. I'm not going to mention any names, but she's a very strange person to begin with. Very strange.
To begin with.
Yeah. So she's a super cheater at board games, and yeah, she's a poor sport in life. That's what she is. She's a poor sport in life.
So very coincidentally, Ashley J. Stang says, I do not believe any part of this story. I mean, that's total coincidence, obviously.
Clearly.
But Sherwin, I played Chutes and Ladders against my wife Serena.
Shoots and ladders or shots and ladders?
Shoots and ladders.
Have you ever played shots and ladders?
Do not do shots and then climb a ladder.
We
Don't
might need to
talk
about that. But like, it started off friendly because we were just at this bar. It was a brewery. It was the Kauai Brewing Company in Kauai, right?
Oh yeah.
And they just have a bunch of board games like all these eclectic breweries have, right? And so I was like, yeah. So we got a few different ones. We played Battleship. That was fun. She beat me there, whatever. And we got to Chutes and Ladders, and I don't know why, but like when she got the big ladder, the one that goes way, way, way up, like I was disproportionately upset about that. And then she got the chute, and I was like overly happy about, like, there was like some touching of my own chest. Like, oh yes, right? Oh yeah, I was like, yes. And then I got the big ladder, and holy crap, it was on then. So I have not been that competitive in a board game in a long time as Chutes and Ladders a week ago. And we'll play board games every great once in a while. We'll play a Scrabble or a Sorry or whatever. But Chutes and Ladders, and that's straight up chance. That's straight up just roll these dice, see what happens. Whoever gets the right numbers win. I ended up winning, and I like marched around the brewery with my arms up. I might have been drinking. It was a brewery.
You might.
Did you turn over the board when you won? Did you slam it? Like, hey, loser!
I did not. I wanted to give her that respect at least.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
Well, you don't want to. Yeah.
Oh, I think
you don't want to be homeless. You don't.
I was trying to get lots of compliments that night. So.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yes, lots of compliments.
Is beer pong considered a board game?
For now, it is.
All right. Well, so I played some beer pong with some young cats this past weekend, and had
is that where the beard went? You lost a bet, a drunken bet. Is that what happened?
There was no bet. I don't.
But there was drunk.
Evidently, you don't know how beer pong works.
But there was drunk.
I do. It's drunk. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we? This is the PCM podcast. What are we talking about?
Beer pong works. I do not know. I don't know. I'm sorry.
The only time you've seen me sober is when I was at Michigan International Speedway because I had to behave myself. Like,
I know. I was like, wait a minute. Why is he acting this way?
Yeah, why is he acting weird?
Oh, he's not hammered. All right, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest.
So, beer pong. What was the story?
I had a good run. I mean, he distracted me. I don't have a great story about it. I beat some young people at beer pong. It was fun. But that's a board game, right?
How do you win? How do you win that game?
That's a great question because I was upset with them because they had water in the cups and not beer.
What? That's not beer pong.
I'm like, isn't even.
I mean, at least with a Utah standoff, it's like debatable who the winner might be. Like at beer pong, there's like, hey, we're just trying to get drunk.
Right. That's like
no. Well, you haven't played beer pong if you don't know how you win. I mean, it's whoever lands the most ping pong balls.
Well, quote unquote win. I get where Cone's going though. Like, hey, we're trying to get drunk and we lost, but we get to get more drunk. Sure.
I agree with that 100%.
I get
this
that.
is what you and I have always talked about drinking games. Yeah. Like, I know how to get drunk all on my own. I don't need a game.
Right. Well, we have been BSing forever. And like I said, when this call came up, I said, I can decline this call and we can continue to have a civilized top hat and bow tie conversation. Or we can get off the rails. And I hit accept.
Well, clearly.
So, Cone, thank you for.
I'm going to call Kelly Crandall's show next week.
If she has the same assessment and goes, you know what, I'm having a good show. I've got Dale Earnhardt Jr. on, but
we actually bleeped her show up a little bit.
Right.
The last time I talked to Kelly, she was like, I like the real me. She mentioned she's like, I like the real you. I don't like the Cone. I get it. I'm like, yeah, I don't like the Cone either.
You know what's funny is
you're fine.
And you know what's really funny is I shook Jay Busby's hand tonight after I left Taco Mac after dinner, and I was supposed to tell Kelly that he said hey, and I forgot.
Oops.
Jay Busby's a cool dude. He writes for Yahoo.
Yeah. Good times.
Brandon Crowd is calling us. This is a great time.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Do you want to do a three-way?
Well, no, we can't do it. We're not doing it. Here we go. Let's close this thing down.
Brandon, hold on a minute.
Yeah, Brandon, you have your own damn show.
This thing is a shit show.
Oh man, it's off the rails.
Wait, we can say shit on this show now?
No, right. Stop.
I'm playing the theme song. Y'all know where to catch us. It's PTM Podcast at ptmpodcast.com. Go follow Orange Cone or go unfollow him if that's your deal.
Unfollow. Click unfollow, please. Unfollow.
We love y'all. We'll talk to y'all. We'll talk to y'all next week. PTMpodcast.com at PTM Podcast. Y'all know where to follow me. Tailgate Mayor at Tailgate Mayor Sherwin.
And y'all know where to follow me. At Tailgate.
This has been so much fun. Welcome back to the PTM Podcast, everybody.
Yeah, this is what happens when we take 2 weeks off.
And go screw yourself. Have a good day.
For sure.
Woo! Next week.
Redneck noise. Yeah, are we done recording?
We're still live on the YouTube. We are.
Well, no, we can be live on the YouTube.
We're done with the podcast part.
Yo, so it's so funny. Like I heard you guys doing that. I had no idea. I just got done with part trivia. I'm walking home. I'm like, I gotta call these guys.
So Cone just randomly called in. It was fun.
Oh, Cone hung up. Darn! I thought he was gonna stay on. That would have been funny.
Oh shit! I gotta fucking double call his ass in. How do we do that?
Well, give us a minute for the YouTubers,
yeah,
y'all.
So, Brandon, all right,
hey,
hold on. We got
unsubscribed. I love it. I hope y'all had fun. We had a blast, et cetera, et cetera. We're gonna shut this thing down and go be civilized somewhere. So, thank y'all. Hats are off. PTM Posse, y'all are the best. And welcome back to the summer.